Hi, this is Steve Englehart, and you're listening to the Captain America Comic Book Fans Podcast.
Greetings, Cap fans, and welcome to episode 269 of the Captain America Comic Book Fans Podcast. I'm Rick Verbanis. I'm your host. And I've got a co host out there. You know who he is, Mr. Bob Lucius. Oh, Bob, I don't want to be a chicken. I don't want to be a duck. So I shake my butt.
I have no idea what that is, man. You've
No?
gone off the deep end, my
I
friend.
did. All right,
Yeah.
how about this? I'll just do the music part now. Ready?
All right. Okay. I got that. I feel like I'm at a wedding or something.
Yeah, it could be. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, it's one of those silly songs to try to get people on the dance floor. Yeah, what am I what how am I greeting you, Bob? What the heck am I doing here?
I don't know.
Do you know the name of the song?
I don't. I have no idea what the name of that song is.
It's the chicken dance.
It's the chicken dance. Okay. I
Yeah.
should know that, I guess. I've been to enough weddings in Jack and Jill's.
Okay. Yeah, chicken dance. Yeah.
All right.
So, now the chicken dance, yeah, it's been around for a while. I mean, we're talking I think it was created, or I should say composed, right? Um, in the Switzerland in the 1950s. So
Oh
it's
my
it's been
gosh. Okay.
around for like
All right.
75 years.
Those crazy Swiss, huh?
Yeah,
Yep.
I
They
know,
can
right?
party.
Yeah, and so I mean, it's a dancing song, it's a drinking song. It's during Oktoberfest, all those type of things.
Okay.
But in 1970, Bob,
Yeah.
they created lyrics for the song, which is what I greeted you with.
Oh, wow. I never knew there were lyrics to the song. So I thought you were just riffing or something. Like this is improv.
No, 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 no. Yeah, that's how it goes. I don't want to be a chicken. I don't want to be a duck. So I shake my butt. Clap, 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 clap. Why am I greeting you with the chicken dance, Bob?
Well, I'm kind of drawing a blank other than the fact that our story tonight involves the falcon. It's a type of bird, I guess.
Okay, I'm going to pretend you actually read the issue
Okay.
and
Oh, I got it. I got it. I got it. Okay. All
all
right. Okay. All
right.
right. Okay. Okay.
It's a
Got it.
slow burn, folks.
It is a slow burn.
This is what
Yeah.
I deal with. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, Bob, we are covering tonight the last, not only the part three of a three-part story, which is uh, Cap versus the Red Skull, but it is also the last issue of the famed Steve Englehart run, the beloved writer from the mid 70s. He had done nearly a 3-year run and ends with this issue. So it is a monumentous evening.
It is. It's some would say it's their favorite, run. Not everybody, but I just read today, in fact, somebody had commented that. So it is beloved for sure.
Where'd you read that?
I think I might have read it in a blog, a Reddit, I guess. Is that what they call
Oh,
it?
okay.
The kids are calling them these days, Reddits.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. They call it by the company name, Bob.
Yeah.
Yeah. Reddit. Yeah. Um, yeah, it's interesting. It is. It is. And we've covered Steve Englehart really thoroughly, right? We covered his first story arc, which was the Captain America of the 50s, which, he explained, kind of did that retcon of how could there have been a Captain America during the time when Steve was on ice. So that was a great story. We did that in one of our earliest episodes. And then we did a long tail story. We did the Secret Empire,
Yep.
the complete Secret Empire, and then we followed that up with Steve quitting Cap and becoming Nomad, which then followed with him returning his Cap, which then we had to finish the story with
Right.
this 3-part story with the Red Skull. So, if you are interested in any of those Steve Englehart ones,
Hold on, hold on, hold on. I got
what?
something. Ready?
Oh yeah, what is it?
We're gonna take it to the end zone.
Huh?
Yeah, you said we're see, I'm using some of that sports lingo you love.
Oh God. Yes, Bob.
There you
We're
go.
yeah,
See,
yeah.
listeners appreciate that. They appreciate the effort, the little effort I make.
You really did.
Yeah.
What was I talking about?
Oh, I don't know. I don't
Yeah, I don't remember
know.
either. So, thanks for that. Anyway, so we'll cover issue 186 this evening, and looking to doing that panel by panel. Um, Bob, uh, you know what else is coming up in a few episodes? Believe it or not, episode 272. You know what we're doing, Bob?
Is that an anniversary episode, Rick?
It is. Actually, what 271 should have been it, but I
Mm-hmm.
pushed it back because the theme this year,
Yeah,
and this is our 5-year anniversary, Bob.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what we normally do with our anniversary shows, we do a little bit of a uh, kind of looking back on the year, some of our favorite episodes. We talk about the following year and what we'd like to have on our bucket list for 2026. We exchange gifts
We do.
on air,
Yeah.
right?
Got yours
Um,
already, my friend.
do you?
Yeah.
I got a question for you. Have
Yeah.
you ever used that Captain America shield lamp for the car door?
I have not. I have
Yeah.
not yet, but I recently figured out how to install ones my son got. So I think I may be up to the challenge. It's a little
All
more
right.
difficult on the exterior for some reason. I've tried to
Okay.
get in there, and I'm concerned that like there's like some magnets they won't hold.
Well, I'm sure you're up to the challenge. So,
Yeah.
so the theme for this, and we always have a theme, right? And our listeners, they
Yeah.
call in or they send videos in, and we've had some really fun themes, and we've had some really, really cool submissions from our listeners. So we're giving you a little heads up. So episode 272 is going to come out on New Year's Eve, December 31st. And so we thought it would be fun if you, the listeners, call in with what would be Steve Rogers or Sam Wilson's Captain America's New Year's resolution for 2026.
How about William Burnside?
Now, so we did this, we did do an episode that came out in January of 2025. So that was the first episode of this year, and it was the top 10 Cap New Year's resolutions. But and you could take something from there, or you can come up with your own. And I know our listeners are going to have a lot of fun with this.
Yeah. Oh, indeed they will. Very creative lot.
Yeah. So get your thinking caps on. You can send in a audio clip. You can email it in to capcomicfans@gmail.com. Or you can record yourself a video, either one up to a minute, and email that in. And we will take a look at those, and maybe yours will be shared on the 5-year anniversary episode.
That's exciting. So I can't wait to hear what some of the submissions are going to be, Rick. Um, our guys are a crafty group, so they're going to come up with some clever ones.
Yep. Speaking of anniversaries, there are some people who are celebrating the anniversary of their birth. Some people call them birthdays. Um, and so if you're listening on the day this comes out, which is December 10th, there are some big birthdays coming up with some comic book creators. December 11th, John Buscema.
All right. Excellent.
Yeah, big brother of
Mm-hmm.
our pal Sal.
Sal.
John is no stranger to Captain America because he was a long-time illustrator for the Avengers and has drawn quite his share of Captain America.
Yeah.
December 14th is a bit of a sad one because it would have been birthday for John Cassidy.
Oh, indeed.
And
yeah.
So we do want to honor him and mention his birthday, December 14th, John Cassidy. And then December 15th is my favorite, or definitely one of my favorite Captain America writers of all time, and that is Mr. J.M. DeMatteis.
Ooh, indeed. Yeah.
Yeah, he was a guest on the show back on episode 13, Bob. So that was nearly 5 years ago. So wonderful uh, interview with DeMatteis. So definitely check that out if you have not done so.
Yeah.
All right, Bob. Speaking before we get into tonight's issue of 186, and speaking of interviews, um, definitely recommend people check out our interview with Steve Englehart, the writer, episode 52. We did this about a little over 4 years ago.
We were so
Um,
young.
but the questions and answers are timeless because we asked him a lot of fun questions about his almost 3 year run, including the topic for tonight's story. So keep
Right.
that in the
Yeah.
back of your mind, because if you read this story along with us tonight and you're like, huh?
What?
I'm curious about
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
We asked Steve about it. So make
Yeah.
sure you check that out, episode 52.
When the holidays start to feel a bit repetitive, reach for a Sprite Winter Spiced Cranberry and put your twist on tradition. A bold cranberry and winter spice flavor fusion, Sprite Winter Spiced Cranberry is a refreshing way to shake things up this sipping season. And only for a limited time. Sprite. Obey your thirst.
In Walmart Sue Newville, time was ticking away. Only a few nights left till the big holiday. But last-minute gifters had no need to worry. Walmart Express Delivery got their gifts in a hurry. From Nintendo to Nespresso and Lego flowers, they could check off their lists in as fast as an hour. All of who Newville, East, West, South, and North could order gifts up until 5 p.m. on December 24th. So this holiday, just do as the Who's do. With gift delivery this fast, they all gasped. From Walmart? Who knew? Subject to availability, terms and fees apply.
All right, Bob, do you want to take the listeners through the cover?
Yeah, of course. Great cover, Rick. Front and center, we've got the Red Skull with his back turned to us, and on a very large display screen, surrounded by all kinds of high-tech hardware, we see Captain America and the Falcon coming to blows. But in fact, it's Sam Wilson that is doing the double hammer fist into Captain America's face, sometimes known as the axe handle or the Shatner strike. It is a completely pointless strike, but it looks really, really good in a comic book or in a science fiction movie. So, but he is knocking the cheese out of Steve Rogers. But here's what's interesting, Rick. Around Sam Wilson's head, there are these little stars, like maybe he's in some sort of spell or he's got a concussion or something. I don't know what's going on. But whatever it is, Red Skull is super excited because he's got his fist clenched and he is like he's screaming at the TV. And I think he's cheering what's going on. It really is a mesmerizing cover here.
What's he say, Bob?
He's saying, today, the moment I've waited for finally comes to pass. Today, the Falcon slays Captain America at the command of the Red Skull.
Yeah, that's what?
What?
That's crazy. Yeah, it is quite the unexpected cover. And listen, even if you're not a Captain America regular reader, you probably want to pick this one up, right?
Why not? It's only 25 cents, Rick.
Yeah. Revealed at last the true facts behind the origin of the Falcon. My ally, my enemy. That definitely pulls you in. And the artist that worked on this cover was Gil Kane, and inked by Frank Giacoia. Had a cover date of June 1975, but the release date was March 11th. And the writers, as we mentioned before, Steve Englehart is he's the, I would say, the plotter and then he shares script duties with John Warner. So I think he was moving off of this book, and so he already had the plot, and then he had several of the pages of the script, and then John Warner did the rest. So Steve Englehart did pages 3 through 11, and then John Warner did the first 2 pages, and then he did 12 through 18 and kind of finished it out. Then the penciler is Frank Robbins, inker Frank Giacoia, colorist Michelle Wolfman, letterer Dave Hunt, and editor Len Wein. All right, we open up to the front first page, and it's a gigantic splash page, and we see the Red Skull. We pick up right where we left off at the last issue, and it's the Red Skull. And which uniform is he wearing, Bob?
He's wearing the green bodysuit, right? The sort of his work uniform, I guess, but absent, the big swastika on the front.
Mm. And he is yelling out, and standing in front of him is Sam Wilson, the Falcon, and he is in a trance. Has his arms kind of a little bit like he's almost he's not at salute kind of body posture.
He seems rigid.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it is something.
There's something rigid about his posture.
And then you have Captain America with his arms bound behind his back, along with his shield. Odd choice.
Odd choice. You think they would disarm him, but yeah.
And then a guard who is standing there holding Cap. And then hanging up from chains from the last issue are Gabe and Peggy. And who are Gabe and Peggy, Bob?
They're SHIELD agents. Peggy, former lover of Steve Rogers. Gabe, former Howling Commando, both now an employee of SHIELD. And also budding lovers.
I think about what you said in the last issue when we covered this, about how that's a very painful way to hang.
Yeah, indeed.
And what it does to their arms. I mean, man, they've been hanging that way all the way since last issue. That's a long time.
That is a long time.
It's got to be painful. And the title to this one is, Bob?
Mind Cage.
He is mine. I created him, a helpless puppet to serve the will of the Red Skull. Now, after years of senseless defeat, this Kraken becomes the symbol of my greatest triumph. Heil Hitler! You're mad, Skull. I don't buy this. I've known Sam too long. Blasted Falcon. Don't just stand there. Do something. Frankly, if you think this scene is a little weird, Effendi, just hang on, because things only get more furious from here. We turn the page. Do something? You want to see this black Schweinhund do something? Ha! You call him the Falcon, but to me he looks more like a chicken. Slave, show them all what a chicken you are. There is a moment's hesitation as time seems to hold its breath. Then, from numb paralysis, the Falcon jerks stiffly into motion, but his eyes remain glassy pools with no stirring of cognizance in their depth. And what's he doing, Bob?
He starts doing the chicken dance, Rick, as you so aptly greeted me with earlier on. He is flapping his arms and making chicken sounds. Bark, 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 bark.
The Red Skull laughs. My God, no! Stop it, Stam. Stop it. Remember who you are. Don't let the Skull humiliate you. Humiliate him? That would be pointless to mortify black vermin such as this. It is you I humiliate, Captain America. Ha 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 ha.
Bark, bark, bark.
And then Gabe speaks up. You filthy Nazi pig. You won't keep me in these chains forever. And when I break loose, I'm going to cram them right down the. Enough, dog! Your impotent threats will only prolong your mutual agony in the end. But your agony will last till the end of your life, Captain America. For now you see that you have lived the past 6 years solely at my whim. And then the Red Skull goes on to explain how all this came to be. The Falcon could have killed you at any time. Now I am frank to admit that such a diabolical idea hadn't yet entered my schemes the night I first attacked you with the cosmic cube. When was that, Bob?
Back in issue 114.
It was more than enough to have you utterly at my mercy at last. With the cube, I stood alone and omnipotent. My slightest thought became instant reality. Or reality became my slightest thought, eh? First, I gave you the tortures of the damned. And then we began the truly exquisite agonies as I exacted what I consider the ultimate revenge. By exchanging our two bodies, you became the Red Skull, and I, Captain America. It was perfect, perfect. Not even Sharon Carter could believe your protestations of the truth. So you became the fugitive I had always been before, hounded and hunted by everyone, from mere policemen to your own avengers. But you fought your way free of every adversity, bereft of all tangible evidence of its own existence. Your spirit still refused to falter. Angered, I acted to ensure your destruction by transporting you to the island of the exiles. Those 6 psychopaths craved nothing more than the Red Skull's death, and yet, even with those odds, you triumphed. When was that, Bob?
That was in issue 117, Rick.
What was I to do with you, Captain? You are possessed of an indomitable will, a dedication to final victory matched only by me. Obviously, attacking you openly, either through the body or mind, was foredoomed to failure, as long as you retained confidence in yourself. Thus, I devised the subtlest stroke of all, and began to scan the island, seeking a man I could use, and I found him not half a mile away, a strapping young buck who possessed an unusual pet. And Bob, I think at this point we go from a recap to a retcon.
Yes, indeed. Those were all from previous issues, 114 through I think 117, in a series of events that took place in those issues.
He was clearly not one of the island's natives, which is all I had hoped to find. Curious, and hardly daring to believe my good fortune, I used the cube to transport myself to his side and seize control of his mind, that I might know with whom we were to deal. I only wish I could repeat his story, word for word. And then we see Sam Wilson recounting his youth and what brought him to the island. Name's Wilson, Snap Wilson, born Samuel T. back in Harlem. I had an okay life there for 15 years, free as a bird. Gave up playing with the pigeons, though, when I decided to do like they do and fly south for the winter. Oh, yeah, I was real green. I didn't know I was only free so long as I stayed in my own cage. The outside world was a jungle, man, but I was out of my nest for good. I dusted myself off and kept traveling till I reached 18 in L.A. I weren't green no more. I'd learned to get by. Got in with the local mob, kept my nose clean and my face in sight. And pretty soon, I had plenty both of trust and money. Can you dig it, baby? Snap Wilson was the man. And Bob, what are we looking at here on this page?
Yeah, I mean, so we're seeing a series of 4 panels that show young Sam Snap in Harlem, and it shows him getting dropped off in Dade County, now Miami-Dade County, down in Florida. And the next scene, we see him in LA, but he's changed. He's matured. He's grown up. He's a man now. And he's also dressing in, I think, in some circles called like a zoot suit, right? Sort of the stereotypical 1970s sort of hoodlum wear.
Yeah.
So, very brash and bombastic and colorful. And then in that last panel, we see him leaning on the hood of looks like a very expensive car because the license plate says VIP, and he is dressed like the stereotypical pimp.
Yeah, with the big hat. Yeah. Yeah, it's not a good look, and it's certainly a shock to the system for those seeing it for the first time. I was flying high. And then we cut to a scene where I guess his boss and the mob is talking to him. Wilson, you're ready for bigger things, and I need a man to see a man in Rio. I'm gone, Jazz. Me and the big man's pilot took his private jet to balmy Brazil, chucking out over land and sea like something more than pigeons. And after a couple hours of TCB, Bob, what's TCB?
That's slang for taking care of business, Rick.
Is it?
It is now. I'm going to be using it quite extensively.
Why didn't Bachman Turner Overdrive in their very famous song "Taking Care of Business"? I don't recall them saying TCB.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to be using it tomorrow morning after I eat breakfast. I'm going to say to my wife, "Excuse me, honey, I've got a TCB."
Don't knock on the door. We headed back north the same way, only I was having a few ideas. See, in my wandering days, I become a pilot myself. Let 'em get far enough out to sea, make some altitude, and then it's just him and me, and a fortune in the fold. We were somewhere near the equator when I made my move. Bye, baby. No hard feelings. And he comes up and he knocks the pilot in the back of the head.
Chop.
Thing was, that pilot had a lot harder head than I figured. He came right back at me. And the next thing I knew, we were at it hard and heavy, with neither of us having the time to play pilot. By the time I knocked that bonehead out, we'd gone into a terminal spin. Holy freaking spit! You can't believe how hard I hauled on them controls, but like I said, it was terminal. Looked like us and that fortune were fish food. When all of a sudden, this island looms up in front of me. The sight of it gave me a little bit of extra I needed. The plane's nose came up just enough to let us pancake. I braced for the shock, but the pilot was in no shape to brace for anything. Don't really know how I made the beach. Don't really know much of anything about the next couple hours. But when I came to, wearing only rags and a saltwater crust, you best believe I told the fates what I thought of them. We cut back to the Red Skull. Eventually, he completed his curses and began to seek shelter, whereupon he encountered the island's natives. You're insane, Skull. I've known Sam Wilson for 6 years, and he's no criminal. He's the most upright man I've ever met. Of course, you star-spangled simpleton. Have I not said this is my greatest scream? Wilson's background is entirely true, and yet it actually is immaterial, because though the power of the cosmic cube, I changed almost everything about him. Only his love for birds did I leave him. Though I strengthened giving him the falcon he trained supernormal mental link, so that I might use that trait as the basis for a perfect partner for you. After so many years, I knew you well, Captain America. I knew exactly what kind of man would most appeal to your sniveling liberalism. an upright, cheerful Negro with a love for the same brotherhood you cherish. After that, it was a simple matter to arrange a meeting between you and the new Sam Wilson. Hey, and we cut back to that issue 117 where Steve, disguised, meets Sam. Hey, that must have been your Falcon that helped me fight the exiles. You know it, man. Redwing and I have been after them too. Later, back in the natives' village, Sam told you just what I programmed him to. Yeah, I've been trying to organize those people to fight for their freedom. But I guess my story really begins in Rio de Janeiro, where I was vacationing. That's where I picked up Redwing. In Rio. Ha 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 ha! No, I can't believe this. And I won't. I heard his voice, his tone. He was telling me the truth. Indeed, he was. He told you exact truth, insofar as he knew it. Once I had changed him, he had not the slightest inkling that he had ever lived another life. That was the beauty of my plan. There could be no mistakes. Well, to make a long story short, I answered an ad in the paper. It was from the exiles, but I didn't know that at the time. They were bored, looking for kicks. They wanted to hire a hunting falcon. So Redwing and me hopped the first freighter, and here we are. You were so completely taken in by his manner that you never stopped to wonder why men such as the exiles should advertise for anything, or why a freighter would come by that lonely isle. No, you are already enlisting him in your own fight for survival. You mentioned organizing the natives, but they don't have any weapons. If you're going to succeed, you'll need a symbol to inspire them. I'd suggest a mask, a colorful costume, and a stirring name, like the Falcon. Me, a costume clown? Don't put me on, man. But you were insistent, and eventually you won him over, just as I knew you would. You had the islanders make him his first uniform. You trained him relentlessly in all the skills that had made you a living legend. Finally, you attacked the exiles again as I watched in the cosmic cube. Hit him, Falcon, and remember, stay loose. Don't tense up. When was that, Bob?
That was in issue 118, Rick.
And once you had defeated them, I drew both you and your new friend to a final confrontation in Germany, a confrontation I had now decided to lose as the final proof of the power of your partnership. I could not know Modoc would enter the fray and render the cube impotent, but it made no difference. You had accepted Sam Wilson, and though it took another year for you to make that partnership permanent, I had you where I wanted you. But you seem to find the Falcon a surprise. And we've both fought you since then without you revealing any of this. Of course, Captain. How else can one play his trump with maximum effect? And yet, the worst is yet to come. And Cap looks dismayed.
He looks tearful, Rick.
However, before we see what the skull means, let's look in on other gloomy doings. And who is it, Bob?
It's Sharon riding a horse.
I thought coming back to my family's estate would mark the most wonderful time of my life, but it didn't. Steve put Captain America ahead of me again. And if I didn't have Dave Cox to talk to, hey, there's Dave now. Who's Dave?
Dave Cox is a veteran of the Sin Kong conflict. He's missing his right arm, but he also lives in a small cottage near the Carter estate. And so Sharon and he have become friends.
Sherry, I was just on my way over to your house to tell you that I'm going away for a while. What? But Dave, why? Well, I feel like checking out some other parts of the country now that spring's coming up. But I'll be back sometime. Well, if that's what you want, Dave, goodbye. Goodbye. That's what I want. Blast it. That's the last thing in the world I want. But if I stay, I'll end up making a play for you, Sherry. And I know that's the last thing in the world you'd want. And she has a tear in her eye.
She does. She's sensitive, Rick.
And the next caption is, boy, this issue's just a bundle of laughs, huh? I like breaking that fourth wall a little bit there.
It's good, yeah.
Jordal, place Captain America inside the vault with his mindless protege. I believe the time has come to see how well the master taught the student in the art of combat. You will find, Captain, that the Falcon feels little pain in his present condition and absolutely no loyalty towards you. So your choice is very easily understood. And the steel door of the chamber slams shut.
Cling!
Kill your partner, or let him kill you. And the Falcon goes for Cap. Now, by the way, Cap still got his arms tied behind his back with the shield.
Yes.
Good Lord. This is the second time Falk's been turned against me. And this time he'll be fighting with his full human skill. So Cap rolls onto his back with the shield breaking his fall. He's got me at a disadvantage. Gotta stall for time long enough to work my shield back and forth across my wrists until it cuts my bonds. Okay, I freed myself. But what do I do now? Maybe we're on equal terms. And he punches Sam. But I don't want to hurt Sam. And then Sam gives them that double uppercut. Right?
The Shatner strike.
So much for that problem. The skull is right. He doesn't even feel my blows in his zombie state. I can't play around. Fate is strangely two-sided coin. Cap is fighting for his life, yet that same battle draws attention away from two certified SHIELD agents. And so we go back to Gabe and Peggy that are hanging there. The Skull's men all watching Cap instead of us. Gotta do something while we have the... I'm way ahead of you, Peg, and I'm going to do something now. What's he do, Bob?
He's got a blade in the heel of his shoe, Rick, that seems to have popped out, and he's using it to cut his ties.
Very James Bondy.
It is, yeah.
Painfully contorting his precision-trained body, Gabe uses the finely honed sickle blade to sever his bonds. Got it. Peggy, swing over as close as you can. Hurry. And Peg, whatever you do, don't get the hiccups. I'd never forgive myself if I missed. And he cuts her free. And the two of them are running. And I can't help but notice their arms are fine. After hearing the last, I really anticipated that they were going to have some downtime with their arms.
Maybe some dislocated shoulders or something. Yeah.
Pick them up and lay them down, lady. We're cutting out on this gig. Man, I haven't seen anybody so glued to a TV set since Fury stopped watching I Spy reruns. Did you like that show, Bob?
I did like that show.
I remember watching the reruns when I was a kid.
Yeah. Who did I have? Robert Culp and who else
Bill
was
Cosby.
in? Bill Cosby. Yeah. Good show.
I gotta say, my favorite episode was when the two of them were in a house that they didn't have any weapons, and they're guarding somebody or something, and then a whole team of men were breaking into the house. So they laid all these booby traps everywhere using common household stuff. That as a kid, I was like,
Yeah.
that's cool.
It was a fun show. Fun show.
Situation perilous, but Gabriel Jones and Peggy Carter are professionals. With surprising calm, they gain temporary safety. A moment to catch a breath and contact Shield headquarters via zipper mic and boot aerial. Professionals. They want to stop, ask each other if they are hurt, perhaps take time to tend wounds, both within and without. But for them, there are priorities that must come before mere human needs. Calling Shield. Peggy Carter calling Shield. For God's sake, come in. Professionals. The distress call goes out, a slight quiver of uncertainty and strain behind the imposed formality in Peggy's voice, but the call is fated to never reach its destination. For elsewhere, what are we looking at here, Bob?
We see what looks to be a control room of some sort with some radio operators, and there are some men in headphones shrouded in darkness.
Agent Peggy Carter, come in, Shield. Hurry, block that transmission. It must not reach Shield. We will answer that distress call. The plot thickens, as they say. Shield to Agent Carter. We read you. Assault team on its way. Do you hear, Gabe? Help is coming. At last, we did it. Well, right. We did do it, didn't we? Yes, Gabe, we did it. We, and they hug each other, and their face is pretty close to each other, Bob.
They're making that like lippy look, like their lips are coming close, Rick.
Gabe? Walls. We put them up everywhere. We tried to bend to our will. Natural forces we do not understand restrain them. But that which is natural will not be confined. Walls are ephemeral and crumble under stress. Welcome to the flood. And what do we see in this panel, Bob?
Well, they're embracing very closely, and I think Gabe was going in for a kiss. Slightly missed, maybe got
slightly
one
missed,
side.
right?
He slightly missed, but
I think they purposely made it look like they could defend this. Say they're not kissing.
yeah. I think you're right.
Peggy, Gabe, the assault team will be here soon. They'll be needing us. Let's go. As noted before, professionals. Hang on, Sahib, because that's the last interlude you're going to get this ish as we peel back to see how Cap is doing. Bob, who's Sahib?
Is that Arabic for friend?
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Verdict? Not too well. Ha! The Falcon was a good pupil. Captain America trained him too well to mess around. Blasted, Falcon's my friend, but he's now an instrument of the Red Skull. I made a vow when I took this costume back that I would never be blinded to or by priorities. And Cap nails Falcon with his shield in the head.
Spatang!
You'd leave me no choice, Skull. We're playing for keeps now, fiend. It's either Sam or me. And then he hits him again. To the death. And Falcon's laying on his back, and Cap goes up, and he puts his shield on his neck. And maybe, after the Skull is choking in his own putrid slime, I'll be able to convince myself that the real Sam Wilson would have wanted it this way. Maybe so, Cap, but you hesitate because you need that conviction now, with your shield poised to crush Falcon's windpipe. And you can't help thinking that, after all, maybe this is what the Red Skull wants, for another partner to die by your hands. While from his electric vantage point, fool, what are you waiting for? What the? And there's a big crash. There's a whole bunch of troops coming in, and they're firing weapons at the Red Skull's soldiers. No, It can't be. We're under siege. Shots. My God, Peggy and Gabe are still out there. Chaos breaks loose. Too many times before has the Red Skull been defeated by the intervention of a mocking destiny, seemingly intent upon his ultimate humiliation. But it will not, it must not happen this time. Not after such precisely formulated plans, such a carefully, skillfully woven tapestry of intrigues. Dummkopfs! Fight back! Drive the swine out! Reinforcements! Schnell! Schnell! We're under attack! Stop them! And Cap uses his shield to bust out.
Wham!
Now what? Gabe, Peggy, you're no time for that, Avenger. We got to get moving. And frankly, I don't know any more than you do. We called for shield, ended up with these strange dudes I've never seen before. I'm not sure they're the good guys, but they keep shooting at Skull's boys. Come on. Seems to me we all have promises to keep with the Skull. Leave Sam. Anything we can do for him will have to get done out there. But when the trio emerges, oh dear God. Peggy, Gabe, stay back. It's the Skull's men. They've all been gassed by the dust of death. Another step and we'd have joined them. But why? Who would have done this? But then I know the answer, don't I? Skull, I'm going to make you pay for this. And what's going on with the soldiers, Bob?
Well, I mean, they're all laying on the floor, Rick, and through their helmets, their exposed faces, we can see that they've all been turned into red skulls.
Cap, up there, look. I see him, Peg, and I'm going to start collecting that debt with interest. Muscles ripple, stiffen, and spring with unilateral drive. The lithe body of Captain America rocketing upwards with superhuman strength. The strength of his own power, perhaps. The adrenaline strength of grim determination, for sure. I'm coming, Skull, and there's no way you can make an exit this time. Your melodramatics don't interest me, Captain. My men have been slain. Therefore, I take my leave. Can the game, Skull. You were the only one who could have killed those men. Bah! I don't owe you explanations. You owe me your death. Auf Wiedersehen. And he turns and he throws the Red Skull dust of death at Cap, and he puts his shield up. The dust of death, if those gaseous tendrils touch me. But deadly or no, this stuff isn't going to stop my pursuit of the Red Skull. Not by a long shot. And he goes down a pole. But when the good captain lands back on his feet, the deadly dust whirled away. Blast it. No, not again. Not again. He's escaped. Gone. But it doesn't end here, Skull. You're out there, somewhere. I'll find you somehow. And when I do... Raging at unanswering stillness can be great therapy, but there are other matters at hand. Cap, the Falcon, he dropped like a sack of stones the moment Skull made his escape. He seems to be deep in a coma. My partner, my friend for years, a creation of the Red Skull? And now this? Has the whole world gone mad? Maybe, Cap. Maybe. Next issue, a shocker as strange as its title. And the title is, Bob?
Mayhem is the Madness Maze.
If you want to know more, you'll just have to be here in 30. All right, Bob. What a shocker. What a twist. What a retcon. What a story.
What a way to wrap up your run, right?
Yeah.
I mean, my goodness.
Thoughts?
Well, disturbing, right? I mean, there's a lot about this issue, about this whole retcon that is disturbing.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also genius. quite honestly, right? I mean, there's a touch of genius here that a psychological, plot to take Steve's very best friend and partner and expose him as something other than what Steve thought he was.
Yeah, some sort of Manchurian candidate.
Right, like the deepest betrayal. Really, really, I think um, a creative arc here, right? To bring this about and throw that all into question. I mean, where it goes from here, right? I mean, it could go any number of ways, but it just opens up a world of possibilities.
Yeah, and I think that's the pluses of the story.
Yeah.
Right. I think you touched on some really cool highlights, and I agree. I mean, listen, if you want a story with a twist and turns, this has got it. But there's some negatives here too,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
You know, that whole backstory of Snap Wilson, um, it really tarnishes the character of Sam to say that he was a bad person before
Right.
the skull turned him into this character that we know and love, and Steve certainly loves. And so it's a betrayal not only to Steve, but I think it's a betrayal to the readers as well.
Yeah.
And I know there were a lot of readers who weren't happy with this. And I think there's a couple of levels. One I just mentioned, because they turned him into a bad person. Um, but I also think there's that. I mean, listen, it's 1975, black exploitation stuff. Um, to go that route that he was, like a pimp and a
Right.
hoodlum, and you know, doing, you know, those stereotype type roles.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
um, that was a little much, I think, for some people too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you on that one, right? Because I think, I mean, we all agree that somebody who has maybe has a history of being a bad guy can turn over a new leaf, right? There's lots of characters who've done that have
Mhm.
chosen a different path, have become heroes, right? No question about that. But that's not what we're dealing with here, right? We're dealing with using an intentional stereotype rather than um, maybe somebody just never thought about being a hero, or maybe somebody just wasn't on that track, right? This
Mhm.
was an intentional stereotyping of a person, and that doesn't sit well, right? Now, again, right? It's Englehart's last story, right? And so maybe he would have taken that in a different way, right? So
Mhm.
it could have been folded differently. Maybe this was a double trick in his mind, right? Never got to write that out.
Yeah, and that's a great point. So we asked Steve about that
Yeah.
when we had him on the show, and again, check out episode 52. Um, and we asked him about that, and his memory was a little fuzzy because again, it has been,
Yeah.
it was 45 years at, but the point where we were talking to him about this, and he went with the um, well, I was leaving the book, and my intention was to leave this open so the next writer could do something with it.
Yeah.
And he gets into more detail. I won't spoil the whole thing,
Yeah.
but that was interesting, and so maybe that was the case. And who knows what another writer would have done. And it took a while, right? It took I would say 8 years. And then J.M. DeMatteis came on,
Mm-hmm.
and he did a backup story. I think it was over a course of 3 issues, and a backup story about, I think it was called, snapping or something like that. And he retconned the retcon
Right.
and
Yeah.
said that wasn't how it happened. That wasn't true. And he kind of went through his own backstory of Sam Wilson to make him um, much less of a stereotype. And when we had him on the show, episode
Yeah.
13, we talked to him about that, and he had some strong feelings about that.
Yeah. And I think, and that makes sense, right? It makes sense that Skull would rewrite Sam Wilson's history to be the very worst possible version of himself. It's very similar to the Hydra Cap story, right? Where the Cosmic Cube was used to rewrite Steve Rogers' history in that way, only for us to eventually learn and have that undone, that was not, in fact, who he was. So maybe that's what Englehart had planned from the beginning. Who knows, right? As you said, his memory is fuzzy. It was a long time ago. He never had a chance to work that out himself and left it in the hands of others. And thankfully, JM took that in the right direction.
And it's funny that you mentioned the Hydra Cap, right? Because the writer for that was Nick Spencer.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, he was writing Captain America Sam Wilson. And this was back in 2015. And he wrote that for 2 years. And I believe he also addressed the whole Snap Wilson thing. And I think he even maybe retconned what J.M. DeMatteis did and took it to another level as well. So his origin has been, I think there were some writers like DeMatteis, like Nick Spencer, and some others that maybe just didn't like this whole Manchurian candidate thing, but even worse, like the stereotype, right?
Yeah.
And so I think a lot of other writers try to change that. But anyway, I don't want to harp on that too much, but
Yeah.
I think it's the elephant in the room that we needed to mention.
It is, but it's also fair to note at the same time that was occurring, that we see this blossoming romance between Gabe and Peggy, in 1975, which was very uncommon in comics at the time, if not unprecedented.
Yep, great point. Absolutely great point. And also, listen, we're along that line, he did paint the Red Skull as a very much a vile, racist, horrible
Nailed it.
individual.
Yeah.
And so he succeeded. Steve Englehart did tremendously in that regard.
Yeah, indeed.
All right, Bob, you go first. Do you have a favorite panel?
Yeah, I do, Rick, and it's a little off the wall, but it's I think it's page 3. It is, when Red Skull is going through his, walk down memory lane and telling Steve about all the ways he used the Cosmic Cube. It's the middle panel, left side, where Steve is wrapped up with the demons. And we see just the hand of the Red Skull holding the Cosmic Cube. Now, I know that this is an homage to issue 115, where John Buscema penciled this in a much more complicated way. But I like this because it is very much Frank Robbins. And
yes,
if you look back at like some of Frank Robbins' final work, his paintings, for instance, when he was down in Mexico, they all had a very surreal, demonic, feel to them, aesthetic to them. And this, like screams Frank Robbins. And it's, so I just love it for that purpose.
I like your choice. 100%. It definitely screams Frank Robbins. My favorite panel, I think, does as well, because you know how he is known for his contortions he puts bodies through.
Right.
This particular panel has the two people with some odd contortions, but that's not why I'm choosing it. And this is page 23 in the comic. If you're on digital, I think it's page 14, but it is the second panel, and it's when Gabe and Peggy are hugging, and they're laying on the floor, and their legs are all kind of contorted weirdly, but they're hugging each other, and they're like, "All right, we did it. Yeah, we did it." And the reason I picked this panel as my favorite is because it's the only panel in the entire book that is not miserable. There's actually joy in
Right.
this panel, right?
Yeah.
There's no
All
torture,
right.
there's
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
evil
No
backstory,
chains.
there's
Right.
no
Yeah.
fighting, there's actual joy in this
Right.
panel.
Right. Yeah. Oh, that's a very nice. Yeah. I see what you did there. Very well. Well done. Yeah.
All
You're right.
right.
You're right. Oh my gosh. Yeah. And what about a t-shirt, Rick?
So my t-shirt, we need villain t-shirts, and who's worse than the Red Skull, right? So I it's a Red Skull um panel, and if you're in the comic, it's page 14. If you're on digital, it's page 8, and it's the first panel, and it's where the Red Skull says, "Of course, you star-spangled simpleton, have I not said this was my greatest scheme?" And I think just that, like, just take out the second bubble, um, but just that top bubble, calling him a simpleton, a star-spangled simpleton, and it's his greatest scheme, and he's angry, and he's got his arms, and he's got Cap's face in it. I think that would be cool in a T-shirt.
All right. I like that. I like that. I kind of a similar mindset here. I
Which
went
one's yours?
two pages later, middle panel, right side, where the Red Skull is like leaning over Cap's right shoulder and saying, "Of course, Captain, how else can one play his trump with maximum effects? And yet the worst is yet to come."
And Cap's face is dripping in sweat.
Yes, right. So I love that because I can wear that shirt anywhere.
It's your new bedtime T-shirt.
My new bedtime T-shirt. Yeah.
All right, Bob, what's going in your time capsule?
Whew. Well, Rick, I mean, I think this is the first reveal of Snap Wilson, is it not?
Son of a gun. That was mine.
Oh, I know, but there's so many other good ones.
I don't know that. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, gosh, it's timeless, right? I mean, this was a curveball that I don't think anybody was expecting when they read this. And as you pointed out, other writers have tried to undo in various ways and struggled to adapt, adjust, and deal with in their own particular ways. So definitely a momentous occasion in the Marvel mythos.
100%. Yep. That's what I was going to pick. All right, I guess I will go with the fact that Cap had his shield on Sam's windpipe.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's ever happened before or happened since. So to me, it probably would signify this particular issue, which is always a good hallmark of any time capsule. And, kind of cross a line when you do something like
He
that.
did. I thought he was going to Baron Blood him here for a second,
Right.
and but you're right. He rarely gets up to that level of violence.
Right.
Right.
Well, it was
So
kill or be killed, as the Red Skull said.
yeah, and it says something also about the capabilities of the Falcon that Steve felt so under threat by what Falcon could potentially do, knowing that, he's obviously out of his mind, but also that he's not really feeling pain, but that he has not only the strength, the flexibility, the skill sets, and the stamina, that he's a real threat. Because otherwise he would not have had to take that step, right? Mm-hmm. Or even consider it. So that says a lot about the Falcon.
Yep. No, it really does. So, all right. Well, I can't believe the Steve Englehart era is over. I know there's some stories that we haven't touched on. Maybe we'll pick one or two for 2026. We will see. Matter of fact, come back in 3 episodes and maybe we'll talk about that for what our plans are. And then don't forget, listeners, actually the deadline to get in your what would Captain America's New Year's resolution be for 2026, just one, Get those into us by this Sunday, December 14th, by 5 p.m. Eastern. So send those into capcomicfans@gmail.com. And maybe it will be played in our 5-year anniversary show.
You definitely don't want to, you don't want to miss the opportunity, the chance to be part of this special occasion. 5-year anniversaries.
I know.
You know, I mean, my
Time
goodness.
flies.
Yes.
All
We could be
right.
taken out by a random comet before the 6th, right? So you don't want to miss this.
That's true. All right, Bob, any final words before we call it a show?
No, sirree. I am looking forward to doing this again next week, Rick.
All right. For Bob Lucius, I'm Rick Verbanis, and you have been listening to another episode of the Captain America Comic Book Fans Podcast.
Hey, Ryan Reynolds here for Mint Mobile. You know, one of the perks about having 4 kids that you know about is actually getting a direct line to the big man up north. And this year, he wants you to know the best gift that you can give someone is the gift of Mint Mobile's unlimited wireless for $15 a month. Now, you don't even need to wrap it. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.